Welcome back to another teacher vlog. It is September 18th, Monday. This video is going to be a little different because I'm going to give you the real tea, the real scoop of how I'm feeling throughout the week, what's going on. So it's currently my lunch. I have about 10 more minutes and then my kids go to specials and then they come back to me. But today we have an iReady assembly. So after specials, we're going to be taking them to a cafeteria and go to that assembly. The word of the day is anxiety. But let me tell you why. My students are taking their iReady diagnostic for reading tomorrow and math Wednesday. In the past, the interventions we used were from a curriculum called Benchmark. Now they're using that, but only for comprehension. So based off of my students' diagnostic results, I'm going to analyze or break down the data to see what their specific need is. So whether it be phonics, phonemic awareness, whatever. That's what I'm going to be doing after I get the data. That's not why I'm anxious. What I'm anxious about is the amount of students who I know are going to need intervention. And I say that because last week on Friday, I had an RTI meeting. And for those of you who maybe are new to the education field or who are in school for the education, RTI is Response to Intervention, which is a program where you have small group, you intervene based off of the students' needs, collect data, and determine if they need to go to Tier 2, Tier 3, and eventually get evaluated for special needs. In total, I think it's about 9 kids who need RTI for reading and or math. And then I have some kids who are in RTI either for attendance or behavior. What I'm anxious about are those 9 students who are in RTI for either reading or math. In order for RTI to be effective, you're supposed to limit your group to at least 6 students. 6. I met with the RTI team, which includes my principal, assistant principal, school counselor, so on and so forth, ESE specialist, facilitator, yada yada. And they're going to try to work the groups out so that we do only have 6, because they too understand that 6 is the max, and the rest will be pulled out with either the reading resource teacher or someone else who can provide intervention for them, but they cannot be sitting with me in a group of 9. So I'm anxious to see what that plan is, and I'm anxious to see the iReady data, because that could also affect who needs to also be in RTI. Anxious about that. I'm looking forward to the fact that this weekend is a 3-day weekend. There's no school on Monday, so beautiful. And this morning my students took their Unit 1 Week 1 assessment to see how they're doing on their Week 1 of the Unit 1 benchmark curriculum. It's mostly red, and red, like a stoplight, is not good. I had 2 greens, and everyone else pretty much fell in the middle. So it tells me we have a lot of work. It tells me that a lot of them are absolutely capable. They just need a little bit of guidance to get where they need to go. And yeah, that is how I'm feeling right now. I was so backed up. And it's partially my fault, but our principal held a meeting on Friday, which she normally doesn't hold meetings on Friday, so she told us we could leave early. And of course I left early. If your principal tells you to leave early, you leave early, okay? So I left early, and of course that left me with a ton of things to do when I came back here in the morning. I had to print out their homework packets still. I had to change jobs. I had to get these forms out of their files, all 23 of them, write down who I didn't have, notate it, send home correspondence letting them know that I need those forms. Just too much. I had to change my standard on my board. But I did start working on my outside bulletin. It's not complete. It's in the process, and that's all I could ask for. A win is a win. A win is a win. I'm currently eating my lunch. That looked sad. That's where I'm at right now. And I forgot to mention to you, I'm hot, okay? My AC, for some reason, it's not ACing. It's not cooling the room as it should be. I have 23 bodies in this room, plus myself, so I had to complain on 3 different occasions, and this is what they got me. Fan 1. I don't know if you can see it over there, but fan 2. Now, they did send someone out to check my AC. When he got here, it was around this time of day, around 12 o'clock. So, of course, when he points the thermometer at the vent, it's blowing cold. Great. Sir, it's 12 o'clock. And the fans were in here. Yes, it feels cool in here because the fans are on and it's 12 o'clock. I'm talking about when we get here in the morning and we're starting our day at 7:50, it is reading 80 to 82 degrees. That's all I'm gonna say. And one thing about me, I already live in Florida. I'm not trying to be hot. So after I complained them 3 times, you know, they brought me the fans. Okay, the fans are a temporary solution. We still need to fix the primary cause. So, and my students, they're so funny. They're asking me, Miss Young, when are they fixing the air? Because the fans are not it. And I can't laugh at them. I can just say they know about the issue and they are working on it. And hope and pray that that is the truth. So it is clearly after work now, and I'm on my way to go tutor a client. But I just wanted to catch y'all up while I'm at this red light, because it's a long light. Dismissal always gets me. I don't understand why it's always so crazy. You know, people try to be slick and rude and think you're not gonna like say things back, but I'm gonna say things back. So I did that. Can we talk about being a female and an educator at the same time? Like, my hormones are all over the place. Like, I'm syncing up. Like, my menstrual cycle is syncing up with my coworkers. So we're all like going through it. And when I say going through it, I mean like going through the ringer. Like, I can tell my coworker is getting her menstrual cycle because it's just all on her face. And I'm sure I'm no different. Today I got a little snappy. I'm gonna put it on my cycle and I'm gonna try to do better tomorrow. And not snappy with the kids. I try to be mindful of that, but like sometimes, you know, on the regular day I be letting the adults slide with a lot, you know. But then when I get my menstrual cycle, it's like, nah, I'm not letting you slide. Like, I'm gonna say something and you're just gonna have to find out. So that's the kind of day that I had today, you know. So yeah, that is it for today. I will pick you all up tomorrow and let you know how I am feeling at the end of my day. So I was gonna say I wasn't having a good morning, but now I am. I just found a stash of napkins, which is great. I'm gonna tell my coworkers where we can always find them. And I forgot my own coffee cup, so I had to go find coffee cups. And let me just say, when you know the right people in your school building, it makes the world of a difference. Get to know your custodians, get to know your IT tech, and the front office staff, like, priority. And like, don't kiss ass, like, just genuinely build good relationships with them. Goes a long way. Alright, y'all, if I'm being honest with you, I really don't feel the best. Let's get a little TMI. Let me get you a little closer. This is a little TMI, so warning. Click off now if you are triggered by the feminine body. We are a team of 4 fabulous 4th grade teachers, so we are all syncing right now. So, and I feel like when we sync, it gets worse. Menstrual cycles are never this bad, but today it was bad. Like, you know, it was bad. It was just bad. So we're just trying to hang in here. I actually have a to-do list of things I need to do. That is how I'm feeling today. Honestly, now that I got a little bit of water in me, I feel a little bit better, but it's still not the best. So I'm trying to physically be present and mentally be present for my students, and just do my best, because I honestly don't feel my best. So yeah, there's that. And I'm just feeling very I don't know if we'll say deflated, but I'm just not feeling like up to par. Let's say that. I'm not feeling up to par. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing, so I'll talk to y'all later. But anyways, I'm feeling deflated, not feeling the best. That's where I'm at. See y'all later. Is this a safe space? I think this is a safe space. I think I create safe spaces, but like, let's talk for a second. Today was hard. I'm not gonna lie. After lunch, it kind of just was on 10. It was on 10. Students, adults, just everything. But thankfully, I have a therapy appointment, so I could go talk to someone about how I'm feeling right now, because... Alright, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Let y'all know how I'm feeling. Hopefully better, but I'm human, so we'll see. And welcome back to the vlog. So let me catch y'all up because a lot has transpired. So okay, so a lot has transpired. So I think the last day I actually picked y'all up was like Tuesday. Might have been Tuesday. Wednesday was an absolute whirlwind of a day. There was testing. I had a meeting after work. I had a parent who was trying to contact me. It was just so much. Too much. So I did not pick up the camera. And sometimes my days are like that. I get very overwhelmed. Right now, I'm also very overstimulated. And then on Thursday, same thing. Like testing for the science BOY, beginning of year test. That was hectic. I was trying to catch myself up for the lessons that we couldn't complete on Wednesday and Tuesday. I ran out of copies. That's a whole thing. Like, I hate when I run out of copies. Like, they start over again at the beginning of the month, but it's like I have Monday's the 25th, so I have like what, 4 more days? Plus it's a new week when I get back, so I don't have enough copies to make my students' homework packets. But there's always a way around things. So it just pisses me off when I go to the copier machine and it tells me I'm negative 177 copies. Like, how did you let me get to that point? That Wednesday and Thursday were horrible. I was overstimulated. I had too much going on. It was a lot. There's some things that I don't even want to get into on camera because I just feel like it's too much. So today's Friday. I'm not at work. As you can see, I took the day off. I have some appointments I need to go to, and that's what I'm heading to do right now. So after my appointment, I need to go to grocery shop, so I might be heading to Wild Forks, might be going to Trader Joe's just to get one thing. It's gonna be in and out, and then maybe I'll along the way to stop for produce and stuff like that, or maybe I'll stop and get my produce at Trader Joe's since I'm going to Wild Forks. We'll see. Welcome back to the same vlog. I had a subscriber, and thank you to my subscriber for asking this question, because I really do think it is an important question, and it opens up the dialogue regarding teacher salary, teacher pay, and what that realistically looks like for a teacher. So I can only speak for myself and my situation. Here I live in South Florida. Things vary district by district, so I can only speak to what I've experienced in my district. So I graduated from college with my bachelor's degree in exceptional student education. I secured a job before I even graduated with my bachelor's degree, and I was really excited to start working. Now, teacher salaries, no surprise, are nowhere near where they should be, especially for the cost of living in South Florida. But the question was, do I have my master's degree, and was it worth it? I do have my master's degree. After I graduated with my bachelor's, I went straight back to school with a friend, and we did our master's online at Florida Gulf Coast University. I can only speak for my district, and my district has where if you get your bachelor's and your doctorate, you get an additional amount added on to your salary. So I went to school to get my master's, and that additional amount is somewhere in the ballpark range of like $3,500 on top of my salary. When I look at that $3,500 over the course of, let's say it takes me 25 years, 26 years to retire, yes, it's worth it. But I also have student loan debt that I now need to pay back. That's not over the course of the same 25, 26 years till I get to retirement. Pros and cons, and it very much varies on where you live. Like I said, I live in the Sunshine State, and the Sunshine State, they are taxing people, man. Inflation has hit us, and it is hitting us bad, okay? What I would say is, if you can, stay with family or parents and stack up as much money as possible, do so. 2, really decide on what you want your career to be. Some people think they want to go into teaching, and some people think they have the passion for teaching, but when you actually get your feet on the ground, it's very demanding. And I'm not saying that to scare anybody away, but I'm saying you have to be the kind of person who definitely knows how to set boundaries. My first year of teaching, I was bringing home work all the time. I was also staying at work super late. And I kid you not, I had teacher burnout year 1. Not year 20, not year 15. Year 1, I was tired mentally, physically, emotionally exhausted. I'll be honest with you, I questioned whether or not I wanted to teach for the rest of my life. That is a huge commitment for the way that I was feeling at that time. With that, and the fact that I was so young, now that I look back at it, I'm not surprised that I was feeling that way. Now, I'm a couple years more mature, a couple years older, and I would definitely say I found my voice. I'm still working on it, but I found my voice, and I've set boundaries, healthy boundaries, especially regarding your work-life balance. That needs to be priority, like priority number 1. Leave at contract hours. If something does not get done, it needs to go onto your to-do list for the next workday. If it doesn't get done that next workday, then guess what? It goes on your to-do list for the next workday. For a lot of young teachers, besides bringing work, not cutting off work at our contract hours, we bring home work with us. We're like, oh, we didn't get it done, and you know, I was supposed to leave at 3. I'll just bring my laptop home. Don't even bring your laptop home. Why are you doing that? You're setting yourself up for failure. You're pretty much working for free. We have to remember as teachers that we are humans first. Okay? Really know if teaching is your passion. Some of you may be like, well, how am I gonna know if teaching is my passion? Sign up to be a substitute. Sub for a couple of days. Sub at different schools in different areas, different cities. Get a feel for what you like. Okay, so my subscriber said exactly this. He or she is planning on staying with their parents until a few months after they get their first teaching job. That way they can save and see what they can afford. Did I get my master's? If so, did I think it was worth it? Which I answered. Apartments in this person's area are $1,400 plus. And they also plan on going back to school to either do school counseling or school psychology, but are trying to work in the field of education as well. And for the county that they live in, the base is $47,500. Now, $47,500, she says he or she, $47,500, and this person says that they don't have that much savings. If you take that salary, $47,500, and divide it by 12, that's about $4,000 a month, of course not including taxes. But then this person says that the rent that they've seen is about $1,400 or more. That's not leaving you with a lot if we look at that base salary. Plus, let's say you have other bills associated with living by yourself. We have water, we have electricity, you have groceries, you have car payments if you have a car, you have car insurance if you have a car. There are a lot of things that play into it. That's why I highly recommend having a savings just in case, for a rainy day. You have something to fall back on. So just taking that $47,500, dividing it by 12, and then deducting a $1,400 rent, you're only left with about $2,500. Like I said, with all those other bills on top of it, it's not that much, and that's not including taxes. I'm not an accountant. I don't know all the information, but that's not including taxes. And if you're like me, like I like to get my eyebrows done, I like to get my eyelashes done, I like to get my nails done. I have like upkeep. I have a gym membership. I have my dog that I take care of, and he requires monthly maintenance as well. So there are other things that come into factor. And when you're thinking about your rent, $1,400 might be the base price, but also like, where are you living? Are you living in a neighborhood where you feel safe? Are you living in a neighborhood where you aren't feeling safe? Like, if that's the base price and you have, let's say, higher standards than that, you're eating up that $47,500 monthly, broken down to $3,900 approximately. You're eating that up pretty quickly. Do I think you should live alone? I would say put it off if you absolutely can. Stay with a parent, stay with a family member. Even rent with a friend, maybe. If you have someone who you can rent with and split those bills, get like a roommate or something, I would recommend it. But that is just me and my little opinion. So of course, if you ever have any more questions, please feel free to comment them down below. I went like on a teacher rant here, but I feel like it was absolutely necessary, and I can continue going on teacher rants all day long. Like, please come see me. That is it for today's vlog. I absolutely hope you learned something new from this vlog, or I hope it inspired you to ask other questions as well, now that I've answered that subscriber's question, because I am here to be fully transparent with you about the teacher life and the life that I'm living down here in sunny South Florida. So that is it. I will see you all next time. I love you so much. Thank you for subscribing, and stay tuned. All right. Bye.